Hi, everyone. I've been just laughing and breathing right now. Okay, so we're going to take a breath. Ready? I'm laughing so much because I had a silent retreat experience here at home. So, for this, the first thing is I was calling it silent fasting. And I was like, let me look into this. And I researched on Google, of course. I've been doing that since I was young. And I can't stop smiling now. Like, I have been offline off social media for 4 days now, and my cheeks were hurting because I just started smiling after 4 days because 'cause I've been in meditation and in silence, and mainly outdoors sitting, not necessarily listening to podcasts or anything, but just being with myself, and I can tell you it is hard. This shit is hard. And whoever's tuning in, I want you to say hello to me because I feel like I'm coming on camera for the first time after these 4 days of being completely silent, like no social medias. So, yeah, but I feel I could have gone longer, but I feel I'm not a master, as in where it could have been a whole 7 days, and I possibly would have felt um, maybe some isolation or disconnect, because we're social humans. So, regarding the 7 days, I feel I would have to really master, have a guidance from a guru to take on that practice. But I'm really proud of myself, and I journaled all throughout the days. And today we were supposed to have a live here on Chai Together Community and my page. However, Michael had an emergency, a family emergency. So I hope all is well with him, and we will be tuning back in for that. I wanted to share with you, and I'm going to make this quick. So I wanted to share with you that I believe if you have never done this, I've done this before where I am able to be away from my phone for days. And before I wasn't even on Facebook or social medias. I'm that kind of person. I feel it would be more challenging for someone who, had an addictive personality towards it. But I wanted to come on here and I highly wanted to recommend for you all to try this. It's truly a journey into yourself. So, as you all know, if you haven't seen, the flyer yet, I am releasing my first Chai Together Collective, our Chai Together Collective as a community, of course. And as I do this, I really took a deep dive journey into myself and journaling, and there's been so much here. Like literally so much for each day. And it's just so incredible when you sit with yourself and do this when you're able to. Maybe take a few days off from work if you're able to, but do it where you won't have any distractions, right? Because you really want to be in tune with yourself and feel your feelings and sit with your feelings and know who you are. And I'll be honest, like, believe me, it'll make you smile. Like, I found myself to become more childlike, more playful, playing with shadows at night with like my phone flashlight. Can sound silly, but truly I never did that. I didn't even know that was a thing. And I did some Mandy is just scribbles, but the fact that you can play in life and the fact that we're none of us are going to get out of here alive. And I just feel such happiness in my heart because I feel I have more than enough, right? And I truly feel I have more than enough to where it could make me cry because there was a point where I didn't even have the bit of this, like having new interiors and having um, a newfound sense of myself. And Miss Aisha Tatum, I want to thank her and for telling me to sit with myself because I was like, what am I doing? Where am I going? Yes, I do try together. This is all great, but there's always more. And it's like, what am I doing here? And he told me to sit with God for the weekend. And I did. And I can still tell you that I don't know. So I was going to make this quick, but it's coming up about like 5 minutes. But I still don't know. My coach reached out. Shout out to Mr. Michael Baptiste. And he said, how's Try Together Collective going? And I said, I don't know. And I say this from a place of love, and it's like I'm not here to impress anybody. I could care less. Like I've seen too much shit in the world, and I've been through too much to care about my reputation or what someone will think of me. This is me, raw and pure, and anyone who knows me, I'm fucking raw and pure, and this is how I come as a whole. So I always bring the truth, and the truth is, it's like when you're creating something that's the start of something so massive, you can tend to think, if you allow yourself to for too long, immerse yourself in that thinking that how will it go, how will people receive it, have all these questions for yourself. And then I have to stop myself, right? This is just about after 60 seconds. I have to stop myself and not think that way at all, because you have to start thinking positive. So I find it to be interesting how so this is supposed to be my silent retreat experience, but now it's turned into just my thoughts now. But do have that experience. Do take out whatever amount of days that you feel like you can do this. And during that time, I had smoothies, a lot of smoothies, easy digestion. And then I started to feel about the second, third day. So now I'm going back to that. I started to feel unwell because my body's not used to that. Being, eating so clean and doing yoga as I was doing, and breath work. And as I was doing this, I was like, I have to eat. And it doesn't come from a place of impulse. It's, I know what my body needs, and body needs balance, right? It's not about just drinking smoothies, being the healthiest. No. So I did that and I felt 100% better. I've also cleaned up around here, cleaned up my desk, and I feel 100% better, 1,000% better. And I'm just hella happy. And I'm hella happy because I give so much of myself to all of you and to the world and to our community, Try Together community here. And I really need to take a break and pull it back in and focus on myself and do the things that I want to do the things in the day that I love to do. As much as I love to showcase these stories, I really love taking time for myself and pulling away. So I did communicate. So one thing regarding silent retreats, do let people know that, hey, you'll be away to do this, because people may worry. So I did let my close friends know, my 3 girlfriends only, that, hey, this is where I'm going to be. If you worry, no need to worry. And I'm doing a silent fast. And that's what I called it. And the only people I spoke to was my parents. And I've been spending more time with my parents. And it's just been a really lovely time. And I can say that if God took me today, that I would die a happy person, knowing that I died fulfilling everything that I wanted to do. And I want to give another shout out to Miss Aisha Tatum. For those who don't know her, you can watch our prior live stream. She's hella fun, and she's a holistic coach and has a lot of knowledge in this field. Hi. Hi, Andrea. You're the bomb. So I have your book on my bookshelf here that to read at the bottom, and I will be doing that and giving you a review. So yeah. But I feel new and renewed because I put on my Rebel lipstick. This is called Rebel from MAC, and this has been my my go-to for 7 years. Hi, Maya. So yeah, so the whole point is to do a silent retreat. If you have not, of course, you can go away for silent retreats wherever you may choose, but to really, they say, look within, journey into yourself. You don't have to physically go anywhere. It's just a mindset thing. So as long as you're happy with what you're about to do and you know what you're about to do, you don't have to physically go anywhere. Yeah, of course. So I wanted to go back to the thought of, when I was having the thought regarding the Try Together Collective or Try Together Collective that I will launch. And, I was stating that you can tend to think, how will people receive it, et cetera, and question yourself. And then I stopped myself after the 60 seconds, as I was saying, and to pull it back into not think those thoughts. And it made me realize that statement of where, people tend to think negative thoughts about whatever percent. I don't feel those quotes are accurate, so I don't state them. But it's your mind can go another way if you don't control it. And I truly feel I've mastered my mind to an extent where I haven't dabbled back into depression in so long, in over 2 years now. And I don't have depression. I don't have any suicide ideations. Like, I'm a product of the product. All of this is gone for me. The only things that I've experienced over these 2 years since I've been here on Chai Together with you all, hi, see you, is grief regarding my abortion. And I haven't had grief in about a few months. And grief and pain when my mom was in the hospital as if I lost a parent. So these are normal, natural feelings. These are not diseases or any clinical conditions. So it's really, the silent retreat really taught me, I didn't have any negative thoughts per se. Like only for 60 seconds I may think something but the whole point of the silent retreat was for me to not think about anything business related, not think about Chai Together, not really think about anything. And in meditation, most people may think you have to be quiet and not think about anything, but it's really about, you will always have thoughts. It's really, what are those thoughts going to be and how long are you going to sit with them? So I just want to point out, back here is my meditation chair from India. It's from Etsy. It's about $90. And I have to say, I love the pattern, so I got it. And it has been the best thing for my family and I, because we all enjoy it. And this is just to point out the fact that how something so little in your room, in your environment, can make you so happy. And they say money doesn't buy things, but it can buy you things that can make you happy. And it's not about spirituality, but it's really about me creating the space that I want for myself, for my life, for my dreams. And I just feel really renewed. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. I really want you guys to go and do this for yourself. And it's not where I was going to take a break anyway from our lives, because I was doing so many of them excessively, and I love it. I enjoy it, but I need to pull it back in, like I said. So I was going to do that anyway. And then when Miss Aish came on, it was a perfect time. And I had the smoothie recipe from another guest of ours, Miss Rosada White. And everything just aligned so perfectly. So always believe in God's divine time, your universe, whatever you believe in, because great things will happen for you. And great things will happen for you when you're not always so fast paced, that you slow down and take time for yourself and get to know yourself more. Because if you don't do that, you will crash. You will crash. And I feel there's so many people out there, and I don't know if you're one of these people, but I'm someone who loves to get to know themselves. Like, I love to read. I love to sit down and take all the time I can to relax, and take all the time that I can for myself. And in the reality of the world, that may not always be the case, especially me going on to be a doctor now, and the clinical hours I'll be working, etc. And that's a SLPD in speech pathology. So it's like I'm doing all I can now, because I know it's sacrifice. And it's really just to tell you that, to have a new experience, if you haven't experienced a silent retreat, to bring it back to that. And I just want everyone to know that don't get caught up in the rush of the world. Like, I truly felt when I was doing such excessive lives, I was so looking forward to putting the content and the stories out there, and just love what I do so much. Thanks, Maya. Yeah, I love what I do so much, and that it could get to a point of burnout, even for something that you're doing that is from your heart, your passion, right? And it's because my life has just been fluctuating the over 2 years and moving a lot. We're rescheduling, etc. That I was like, I won't reschedule again. Like, this has to get out there. And it's for that reason as well, to show up and show out. But, it's like to be more mindful and think, well, how do I want to proceed from now on? Because you can't do anything about the past. I could only, maneuver my future and my present now, like this exact fucking moment. So I curse, but, I sitting with myself over this weekend. I didn't talk to any friends. I didn't talk to nobody except my parents briefly, but sitting with myself, I came across, old photos, journals, writings, drawings, etc. Things that wouldn't have clicked if I didn't sit with myself. Things that wouldn't have came to me if I didn't take the time to be quiet. When they say to be quiet within yourself, there's really something to that. And I've never experienced that before. Yeah. So it's like I have, but I've never done it to this extent of where I have so many things to do, especially having your own brand, having guests, having, parents like to care after and just make sure everything is smoothly blending in together and, school and bills and like I was never the person to be like, oh, bills, but now it's just like, oh, okay, like let me take control of like my own responsibility. But I just feel so fascinated by life. Like, that's all I have to say. I just feel so fascinated by life and I love life so much. And it's not even where the hard times come to mind. Like, over this weekend, I didn't think about really anything that has traumatized me. It's like I really cleared my mind and like it's just a skill. And I feel like when you have the faith and you believe and you really want to do it, I feel like that's when more things will come to you. And it was really for me to sit with God and have something come to me. And today, as I told you, if you were tuning in the whole time, that my coach asked me, how's it going with the launch? And I said, I don't know. And that's my real answer because it's just so interesting because I'm not here to please anybody. And this is generally speaking, I'm not here to live on anyone's terms. And when I say how I feel is how I feel, and what I want to do is what I want to do, and what I'm going to do is what I'm going to do, that is what it's going to happen. I don't want to be led by anyone else's influence. I don't want to be serving people I don't want to serve. And this is in the sense of I don't have to put up with anybody's shit, and I never do. So let that be clear. And I remember speaking with Aisha in her live stream last week. You should definitely check it out. Thank you. That's because I freaking love myself. Like I've truly I don't know. I truly have a great life and it's a blessing in the sense of so I watch let me tell you this. So and this silent retreat wasn't just about where I didn't watch anything. I did watch a movie. It's just silent retreat was away from people. I love it. I love people, but shit, I love myself too. So I watched It's a Wonderful Life. I believe that's what it's called. It's back in the day with John Stewart, James Stewart. I'm not sure. I was told about this movie years ago, back when I was like 2021. I finally watched it. And this gentleman had his whole life stripped away as if he didn't exist because he wanted to commit suicide, right? And that's the work we do here on Try Together. So, and I'm telling you the movie now, but it's just a bit. So he wanted to take his life, and then he was stripped away from the world, his identity. And, it made me realize if it wasn't for me, you know, there would be no community if it wasn't for me. The impact that I've created in people's lives that I don't even know, or they never shared with me that how I helped them. It's if I wasn't alive today, such as that gentleman in the movie wasn't alive, he wouldn't have been alive to save his brother. He wouldn't have been alive to create a whole community with homes for people, et cetera, from a man going to prison in the movie, right? So it's like if I wasn't alive today, and this is for you as well, to think this way, that if you weren't alive today, what is one thing that wouldn't have gone how it has gone if you weren't here? Like if I wasn't here for my mom, if I wasn't doing this work that I do, who would, right? And they always say if you don't stand up and voice yourself and do the work that you're meant to do here, someone else will. And this is in the way that it won't be exactly what you're doing, but if you don't have the courage to muster up the courage to do something with your life, with all that you are, someone else will do it. If Chai Together, I've come across other brands regarding chai and the purpose in chai. Someone I know on Instagram, that's their brand. There is no Chai Together like Chai Together here. Someone may have that as a restaurant name, but I have not seen Chai Together, something that came to me and as an idea where someone's doing something like what I am. I have not seen Chai together. On Google or anywhere. So please let me know if you do know of anything else like this, but I don't know of any. And this is not to brag on myself. This is to reassure you regarding the movie as well, that why we matter, why my life matters, why I'm so glad I never committed suicide. Could you imagine this pretty face no longer being here for you? So, and one more thing I want to mention is that when I was on this, 4 days away from people, That's what I call it, not a silent retreat. 4 days away from people, right? Whatever. So as I was, it's my friends did worry. The ones that I told, it's like, I hope you're doing okay. I know you're on a silent fast, but and then my best friend Kristen Brooke, I love you so much. She wrote me a long message of how I helped her with her boundaries, and because of me being in her life, being so close to her, her releasing her book, all this great stuff has happened because I've been there to also support her as well. So it's like, who knows where she'd be, right? Like, I don't know. I'm just hella happy, but I'm just going to wrap this up now. But I want you to go and do a silent retreat whenever you're ready for it. However you want, look more into it and have fun. And I love you. And be a rebel, because life's not about rules. We die anyway. So I love you all. Bye.